Great to be back with you for a bonus coaching session today for Live Love Lead Academy. And if you were able to join us, thrilled to have you here. Want to be a support to you, be a blessing to your soul. And I have this phrase that I say, bless your heart and your socks too. And so wanted to just jump in today and let me know if on Webinar Jam, if you can hear me okay. Just go ahead and type in the chat area. If you have any questions on social media, go ahead and let me know where you are watching from and where you are tuning in from, if you would. How are you, Trish? I'm conscious that we are working on connecting, and we'll get to the bottom of whatever that is that's going on. I promise you that. And I think you already know my perspective as to what kind of is going on there. So, hey, wanted to basically just let you know, let me pop over here, just to see, as we get started today, I just want to dive right in, and I want to coach you around, one of 5 different positions you might be in today, one of 5 different spots that you might be moving through. We are, all of us, facing a lot of stress and a lot of grief and loss, and yet there is but there are plans to open things back up again, and everyone is still feeling a lot of stress, has a lot of different kind of opinions as to how soon, how much, how whether to or not, and the timing of all of that. What I want to help you with is your mindset in it, what you can control as opposed to what you can't control. And so the first type of person that I want to talk to you about, that you might be in this position right now, and that is that you might be in a place of brokenness, place of brokenness. You might be in a space in your life where, well, that's not very thick. So let's make that a little thicker. There we go. You might be in a place where something's happened, or maybe a lot of things have happened, and you may feel broken and you don't know how to put the pieces back together, or you're struggling to put the pieces back together. What you do know is something is wrong. Something's wrong. And one of our teammates, I think it was beginning of last week, fell, bless her, broke her ankle in 3 places. She knew straight away something was wrong. When your heart is broken, when your soul is broken, when something that you don't even know where to pinpoint is broken, it is going to lead you to one of 2 places. It will either lead you to broken and beautiful, or it will lead you to broken and bitter. And you and I have a choice as to where we end up, which pathway we end up going down. Broken and beautiful, or broken and bitter. You've met broken people in your story, no question. Not all of them have had a sweet savor about them. And I'm not talking about body odor, right? What I want to encourage you around is that when you bring your brokenness or your broken pieces to the healer of your heart and to the lover of your soul, And if you do that, then just even that action, just that journey, just that call is indicating a willingness to surrender your pieces to him, to surrender your brokenness to him. And that would be my encouragement for you. Now, there were some stories in the scriptures where they didn't know how to get there. They didn't know how to get to him. They didn't know where to begin. And sometimes they needed friends to lift up their mat and carry them to Jesus. Some of them ripped off shingles off the rooftops to lower their friend into Jesus. We have a fantastic team of 15 coaches and counselors here that would love to carry you to Jesus if you don't know how to get there yourself, or if you don't know how to put the pieces back together. But you might be in a place of brokenness. Well, you might not be broken, but you might resonate with burned out. You might resonate with being burned out. And that's the second question I have for you is, might there be a burnout that you might be experiencing? You might say, Kevin, there's been a pandemic around the world. I've been told to stay home. Yeah, you still can be burnt out while you're at home. You might not be broken, but you might be burnt out. And if you are burned out, man, I love the Message translation of Matthew 11, I think it's 28 to 30, where it says, come all ye weary who are worn out and beaten down, heavy burden, depending on the translation, or heavy laden, depending on the translation that you are looking at. And I will give you rest, Jesus says. I've noticed of myself, actually, lately, my kids will have said to me a couple of times, Dad, are you going to sit down, Dad? Going to sit down? Yeah, I'll be there now in just a minute. That there is this drive in me, this caused by stress, I think, maybe caused by some anxiety, to continue to do something. And there have been times, and I'm going to get to this at the very end. I'm going to tack this on to the very end, just about confidence, to be honest. But there have been times where they've just said, "Hey, Dad, could we just do this and nothing else?" Sure we can. Like I know, like they're not asking that because it's happening all the time. They're asking it because I have a tendency to do something else while I'm doing, and it's not bad all the time, but the gift of your presence, woo, powerful. Anyway, that was a little rabbit trail. Let me come back to burnout. Burnout happens in our academy. We have one of the tools in there, just like a self-reflection assessment on burnout, but whether you are or whether you're not. And I know for me, when I've experienced seasons in my life of burnout, when the phone rings, it's not a happy day. It's not a yay. Somebody wants to have a chat. There's a frustration that surfaces. There's little in the bottom of the barrel. There's a little margin. There's a little patience. You might not be broken, but you might be burned out. Can I just say to you, welcome home. Welcome home. Welcome home. There's a place for you to recover from burnout. Hey, if you resonate with any of these, let me know. Let me know in the chat area. Say, yeah, I don't know that I'm going to be putting broken on there, but I can resonate with burnt out. I can resonate with the second more than I can the first. And we would love to talk to you about how to recover from burnout. But what about number 3? What about number 3? Number 3, you actually might be bleeding. Something's happened. You've been wounded, and you are losing blood. You're losing life. You don't have much strength. You don't have much energy. You're bleeding. Is that you today? A lot of times we'll have husbands come in with their spouses, and sometimes the other way around, but most of the time it's the lads who have a tough time really kind of accepting that there's really something going on underneath the surface, or not going on, but just that their spouses are really struggling. And so a lot of times we'll use this word picture. Imagine your spouse, your wife, is bleeding. She's losing blood. She is on the floor, and there's a pool of blood around her. How would you treat her? How would you be to her? A lot of us are in close quarters more than before, let's say, and the rhythms are all thrown to sunder. For some of us, it's fantastic. For some others, everybody around you feels like heavenly sandpaper, rubbing you, and it doesn't feel good. Bleeding. When you get a picture of that, oftentimes people will tell us, well, I would be gentle, I would be considerate, I'd be soft, I'd be kind, I would be caregiving. I'd be calling whoever I had to call to get the attention that they needed, because I don't know how to stop the bleeding, but I'll do the best I can. Pride goes out the window. But when it's a bleeding heart, when it's a bleeding soul, when our mind isn't working the way it's supposed to work, when our emotions are all over the place, and it's not fixed or able to be fixed with medication. Maybe they need a counselor. Maybe they need to talk through with a close friend, a companion, a spiritual director. I don't know. Are you bleeding today? I want to say, welcome home. Number four, you might not be broken or burned out or bleeding. You might be battling. You might be battling, and you might even be winning. Battling, fighting a good fight. Finishing your course. But you might be battling, and you might be throwing punches, and you don't feel like they're landing anywhere. You're in the fight, but you feel like you're losing ground. Or you're in the fight, you feel like you're gaining ground and you're moving forward, but I need more resources. I need some companions. I need some brothers. I need a brotherhood. I need a sisterhood. That might be you. And if that's you, I just want to say, hey, welcome home. Live, Love, Lead Academy is exactly here for that purpose. To help you fight better than ever before. For your life, your love life, and your leadership. Battling and winning, or battling and losing and slipping and needing some more resources, needing some better or improved weaponry. We want to help you with that. But what about the fifth type of person? And the fifth type of person sounds like, really, Kevin, are you really putting bored there? Did you run out of bees? Like, that seems a little bit of a lame-o one. No, it's a serious one. For two reasons. The first is that you've accomplished. Maybe you've won your battle. Maybe you've come to a season where the kids are gone to college. You feel like you're coasting, and actually you don't feel challenged at all. And you might be bored. You resonate with that? Maybe the kids aren't off at college. Maybe you haven't just gotten a promotion, or you've been in a position and you've been successful, and you're still successful generally, but there's a sense of boredom that you are becoming more and more aware of. I want to tell you, welcome home. You need a new assignment, a new sense of purpose, and you're looking for direction to move down that path. Broken Chains and Live, Love, Lead, we have counselors, life coaches, career coaches, spiritual directors, companions on your journey. Some going through this pandemic have just kind of gotten a sense like, I want more in my walk with God. Like I've just, things have become clear when everything is shut down, literally closed. My daughter was coming home from babysitting the other night while one of our essential workers was off to work, and as she was coming home, she said, "Man, I just wanted to stop and get something to eat. Everything was closed, and then there were police around, And she came home and just said, I kind of feel a little anxious." The pandemic has not been exposed to all of us, but all of us, to one degree or another, have been exposed by the pandemic, by coronavirus. It's surfaced some things in us that if we're smart, we'll take a look at. Like most of us, like, hey, I don't like to look at that. I'll put that away. I don't appreciate what's being exposed. But if you're smart, you will take a look at what is exposed and you'll make a decision. And even your indecision is a decision. And when you don't know what to do, what are you going to do? I say phone a friend. I say call BCI. I say call someone you trust. Invite them into your prayer team and ask them to just seek Father with you together. I want to work on this. I want you to help me stay accountable. So, are you broken? Do you more resonate with being burnt out? What about bleeding? Or how about battling? Is that more up your alley? Or do you find yourself in a state of boredom and you need to find a challenge? You need to find a sense of purpose, a sense of meaning. And you want to recenter, refocus the lens of your life. We are here at Broken Chains International to help people live free and love well. And as that begins to happen and people are like, okay, I don't want to stop growing. I don't want to stop this thing that God's doing inside of me, changing me, healing me, making me who he's called me to be. Then we transition you into Live, Love, Lead, into that program that we have. And one of the programs on the Live, Love, Lead is our Live, Love, Lead Academy, helping you live fully, not just live free, but live fully, live in the fullness of life that Jesus came to give to you, and love deeply. Yes, that is similar to loving well, but it's how do I go deeper? How do I love deeper? How do I love in the middle of a pandemic? How do I listen? How do I own? How do I validate? How do I express to the degree that others will love to listen? What does that look like? And how do I lead authentically? Not in a way that I think everyone wants me necessarily to lead, but in a way that is best for them and is coming from my truest self. What does that type of leadership look like? Before I transition into confidence, tell me, broken? Bleeding? Burned out? Battling? Or bored? Which of the five do you more resonate with? Let me know. If you're not comfortable to let me know in the chat, then let me know by email. Email me at kevin@livelovelead.info or text me at 678-608-2111. And while you're at it, text the word love to 678-608-2111 and you'll be entered into our giveaway that's happening, I think tomorrow it finishes. So if you have not yet entered, Text the word love to 678-608-2111 and you'll get entered into our giveaway for this week. Let me know what more or which do you more or most resonate with. I want to say this to you, let's say this to you. I want to show you this. If you join, and there's nothing to join today. Can I just say that there's no sales pitch happening here. If you resonate with this, then maybe God might be saying, hey, get yourself ready, because we will be launching and opening the doors to the academy again. But you will get access to a group of people who are rowing in the same direction as you, who can help you go further, faster, live in the fullness of life that you've been called to live, love deeper than you've ever been able to love before, even if your spouse or the people in your life don't. How do you love deeply even then? That's what we're going to get into. And that's what we get into in the academy. And how do you lead authentically? So you will get access. To me, it's the only way that I am outside of intensive programs that are one-on-one, really tailored, really customized, and there's a significant investment to get into those. The academy is the only way that you can get access to me, and through me to the team. Now, you can get access to our team, 14 others, hourly sessions, coaching, counseling, spiritual direction, missions debriefing. Phenomenal. Call 800-910-5060 if you haven't yet, because you are going to need to process all that's been going on if you haven't already, or you don't have somebody else. And hey, we're not the only place. So find a place to do that. Find a place to process what's happened. You will receive action plans. Action plans, tools. How do I know if I'm burned out or if I'm more bleeding than I am burnt out? When I was growing up, people would just say, Daly, I know what you are. You're bleeding ugly is what you are. Action plans is another thing that you'll get. You know what? A lot of times, what slows us down is that we've got nobody accountable. Accountability, how about that? You've got nobody holding you accountable. And so it's easy to drift. It's easy to. So accountability is another part, and then you'll associate with a band of brothers and a band of sisters rowing in the same direction as you, who can encourage you and spur you on. And we're finding ways to do that better and help that be experienced better and better as we go, as we move forward. You will have your body addressed, but not just your body, your being. At the core of who you are is addressed, coached, so that you can live in balance in your marriage and in your ministry, and communicating whatever message it is that God has given you to communicate in whatever sphere that you are in. Your body, your being, your balance, I would say your business or your ministry, will also be helped and aided in that context. Again, leadership is not just in a business context, it's very much in a relational context. And I have so much more, but I just for now, I think that's enough to share, okay? I want to share one other thing, just to help us all transition around the area of confidence. You know, in tennis, love it to pieces. I have my Alta tennis ball right here from a, I'll pull the whole thing down on myself, from a finals tournament that had the privilege of being in, and love this sport. We have a saying in tennis that goes like this: tight loses, but loose wins. Tight loses, but loose wins. And tight just has to do with stress and tension, and choking is another phrase that you're not loose. You're not letting the racket do the work. You're trying to force things. You're trying to end the points too early. But when you stay loose, ALTA is Atlanta Lawn Tennis Association, for those of you who are wondering. But when you stay loose, here's your best shots. There are times when I play and I just feel like I'm in the zone. You know what I mean? Like I'm hitting the ball in the sweet spot. To me, and some of you may be able to relate to this, some maybe not. I don't know. But to me, man, sometimes when I play tennis, I feel really close to God. I feel his favor. 1 Timothy 6:17 says, challenge people in this world that they don't put their trust in their riches, but they put their trust in me who has given them all things to enjoy. When you stay loose, you play your best game. And we want you to play your best game. And I'm not talking about tennis. I'm talking about your life, your love, and your leadership game. So let us help you play your best game. And one way to do that is to be present. One way to do that is to be present and focused on who you're with, on where you are, on what point this is, right? It's not the next game. It's not the last point, right? Sometimes the last point can wreck your head because of how you hit it or what they did or what. But you're not there anymore. You are right here. And the challenge is to be fully present in the moment. Like right now, right here, with everything you've got all in, leaving it on the court. And for an ADDer, sometimes focus and being fully present is a pretty challenging challenge. I'm like, oh, that was a good shot, Dave. Yo, great shot over there, man. Daryl, fantastic get, man. These teammates of mine. And on I could go, right? But where do I need to be? I need to be right here. Sometimes my partner's saying, all right, keep it on stay right here, Kev. Come on. And sometimes I'm refocusing and I'm recentering, and I don't play my best tennis when I'm not fully focused right here. Confidence is massive on the tennis court, but it's massive in our life too. And can I say to you today that you can be confident in the fact that God's got you. He knows right where you are. How are you, Kelly? Because your Father knows right where you are. He hasn't messed up the paperwork. He knows what you're burdened about. He knows what you're pumped about. And His calling for all of us is to be fully present with who we are, where we are, for such a time as this. We call our team Heroes of Hope because they love and share His hope with anyone who He sends across their path. Present, be fully present. I play so much better when I'm fully present. The second thing I want to talk to you about confidence is just staying positive. Now look, for some of us, that's a little bit easier than it is for others. Whenever it's good, think on those things, is what Paul tells us in, my head's gone blank, I think it's Timothy. No, it's not, it's Ephesians. Anyway, wherever it is. It's Ephesians 4:8, that's where it is. Or Philippians 4:8, that's it. Phil 4:8, right? Whatever's good, think on those things, right? There's all sorts of drama going on around. All sorts of, the sky is falling, the sky's not falling. I mean, this is really serious. And we're thankfully coming out the other side. And some will get out the other side sooner than others. man, we need people to help us stay in a positive frame of mind because your mindset is massive. If you're with somebody, tell them your mindset is massive. It's massive. When you're stuck in thinking, well, if only and I'm thinking about my tennis game again, if only I had to hit that shot or didn't hit that shot, if I had to tried this, stuck in the past. Well, what if this happens? What if I lose this game? What if? That's the future, right? Let's stay positive. Let's just refocus. Let's just hit one ball at a time. Let's take one swing at a time. Let's hit one shot at a time. When you do that, when you keep it here, it's so much easier to stay focused and believe the best. A lot of us, a lot of times, assume the worst. That's another tool that we have that I'll share with you another day. But believing the best. And if that's struggle for you, then maybe you invite some others to pray. Maybe you get on. Maybe you jump into our academy and you access the tools like, how do I believe the best? How do I shift my thinking? And I'll just give you a little tip here. When you focus on what is good, then your feelings follow and your functioning isn't far behind. So be very, very intentional on what you focus on because everything else gets in line with that. All right? Be present, be positive, and gang, be productive. Be productive. Everything doesn't come down to productivity, but be productive. What is it that you've been called to do today? You can't do it all. What's the most important thing on your list today? Stay focused on that. Your ADD bro needs help with focus. And so I use a full focus planner. Never did I ever think in a month of Sundays that I would end up using a paper planner. I'm telling you, it helps things stay in front of me, keeps things visible for me, helps me not miss things, helps me remind things, helps me reflect on the week, helps me reflect on the day, helps me prepare for the next day, helps me get it done. Get her done is what they say to sell. Get her done, Kev. Tight wins. No, tight loses. Loose wins. For those of you on social media, I'm going to bow out here. I'm trusting that this has been of value to you. If it has, share it. If you haven't yet entered our giveaway, go to bit.ly/capital BCI, capital BDAY, and you will get in to win over $500 worth of prizes in there for my birthday giveaway, all right, through BCI. And or you can just text the word love to 678-6082-111. And I think that's all. If we can help you, give us a call at 800-910-5060. Please don't do it alone. Sometimes in my tennis game, I'll try to do too much, and I will take balls that are for my partner to hit. And I'll have to say, I'm sorry. That's your forehand, and your forehand's way better than your backhand. What am I thinking? You know? If this makes no sense to you, just let it go. Let it go. It's not from the Lord. Just let it go. But you're not called to do this alone. We'd be honored to come alongside you. I'd be honored to be your coach inside of the academy. Send us an email to info@brokenchainsintl.com or email me directly at kevin@livelovelead.info. kevin@livelovelead.info. Social media, I'm going to say cheerio, God love you. Message me if there's anything I can do to be of help to you. And whoops. I will say for now, cheerio, and I will see you next time. Hey, tomorrow morning, 7 a.m., check in with Kevin at 7. If you're not in, you can't win. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Other than, hey, I'll see you at 7 in the morning if you're on social media. So check in with me there, and I'll see you